Hey guys, I thought I'd do this video a little bit in a different setting than last time because actually today I'm at the Raid Studio, which is where I do most of my work, and for a change, I'm actually the first one here, so I'm gonna pan around. Completely empty today, so I'm gonna shoot this video quickly before anybody gets here, because once they're here, they're all just gonna mock me. So this is basically my work setup. I've got this nice big Cintiq here, which is a recent purchase, a recent investment, because it actually speeds me up a lot. And this is the bike that I theoretically ride to work, but it's just been sitting here for a while. But anyways, somebody asked me last time about writing and how I write, and I'm actually really new to it, and so that process is being refined a lot. But this is how I've approached it right now. A friend of mine, studio mate, Ramon Perez, was drawing Nova right now for Marvel, so read it if you haven't checked it out. It's very good. He recommended an app called Scrivener, which is it's a screenwriting. I believe it's a screenwriting app. It's for pretty intense writing projects. More really, it's overkill for what I need, but it helps me organize my ideas. So how it essentially works is that I'll just jot down like really simple ideas. Sneak preview for everybody. Not that these will actually be stories. These are just random thoughts. I'll just write one sentence thoughts. Oscar goes to World War One, or Oscar goes to a boat to the Arctic. And what that makes is essentially a binder where I make just like little virtual cards where I can just jot down notes for a scene, like scene one, Oscar's on a boat. Oscar's on a dock with his friend Edmund. Scene two, they meet the Hydronauts, etc., etc. And what that allows me to do is sort of lay out the entire plot. Oh man, I'm not going to stay under too long because I don't want any spoilers for you guys, but it allows me to lay out the structure of the story without worrying about the details. And that allows me to focus on something scene by scene. So if once I figure out sort of the overall arc of the story, I can just go into that scene, and I'll just write it out in a really bad, like high school English level short story for that one scene. And I'm not writing it for anybody to see. I'm not even really editing it. Like I might, after I write, I might read it over once, but it's just for me to kind of fill out that scene in my head. So I know kind of what beats need to happen. And in theory, one of these scenes might be like one chapter of a comic, but it never works out that way. The comic kind of spirals out of control once I start drawing it. But this gives me like a framework to lay the story on. So after I do that, after I've laid out my comic and I think this is where I want, I actually never look at this again. Its job is done. Like I don't, when I then start making the comic, I don't refer to this plot at all, because I like to keep it organic and I let it develop. But it gives me the safety net. Like I know this is kind of how the story is, and I'm happy with the shape of it. And if I think of something better, I'll change it. But at least I know I have this thing. And it's super important for me to actually leave that open, because at this stage, I don't really know the characters yet. And I don't really know what they need to go through. So it's important for me that I let the story evolve to where it needs to go. So yeah, that's basically how I approach stories. So hopefully you found that useful. And I'm going to end this video here before anybody shows up. And I'll leave it with this cool shot of this Mike Mignola Batman hanging out with BPRD man. All right, take it easy, guys.